Do you ever feel like you're just spinning your wheels and not doing much of anything? Something that should have taken, maybe a day is turned into, uh, yeah, a bunch of work. So, anyways, welcome back to the RC barn. Today and going into the future, we're going to we're going to be working on the cauldron. And I'd like to try to get this wing, for the most part, finished up maybe by the end of the week. So that's going to be leading edge sheeting, wingtips, sanding, and reinforcements and stuff done. So, anyways, I did start putting the leading edge on. This gets a double spar arrangement. You can tell on the plans here. So, got plywood here. That's 1/8 inch sheet. And then you got about a 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch sheet. And then if you notice, like right in here, we're going to have to make that taper. So this is going to be a custom piece now. Like I said, I've already started on this, and a lot of sanding has taken place. I started with 1/8 inch sheet. I went a little wider than I needed. And I also put my straight edge up against the ribs to make sure that they were pretty close. Now, we're not 100% flat across the leading edge, but with that 1/4, 1/2 inch, trailing edge, leading edge, we're gonna put on top of this. Then I'll be able to sand it straight, so that way it's got a continuous line, and we'll make up, like here you can see. It's got a taper in here. Now this ain't much. This is like an 1/8 of an inch in. So, but like I said, like I haven't said a million times in this video already, these plans suck and nothing's lining up. So, but I will get an airplane out of this. Come hell or high water, I'll get an airplane out of this. So, anyways, I went ahead and glued all that in, and I sanded everything to shape and everything, and made the 1/8 inch plywood brace here. The next thing I'm going to do is epoxy all this in. This is just C8 in. Now this isn't a very strong joint right here at all, but the tri-stock adds substantial strength to that. So I will epoxy these in, and then I'll sand them to shape. And then, so after we get all that done, then I gotta sheet the leading edge sheeting on the top, because it goes out to here, and then the extra, from what I'm seeing on the plans, the sheeting comes to here, caps this, and then the leading edge, the front leading edge goes over top of that, and then so it creates a shelf here for sheeting. So we need to do all that in steps and in order. So, all right. So we went ahead and let this sit for, it's been a couple days now, to be honest, but everything's dry and glued in. I went ahead and carved the tri-stock reinforcements down for this leading edge plate, and I also glued in the front trailing edge here. Got a little ahead of myself. So anyways, we're going to got all that done, and now it's time to glue the front sheeting in here. All right, just a quick update on this thing, the cauldron. I'm jumping around a little bit because I'm having a hard time getting parts in when I need them. So that's why the jumping video. So I got a couple days here to work on something, and I'm out of parts for some other stuff that you guys haven't seen yet. But Anyways, I went ahead and sheeted the bottom, and I wanted to show this off here just a little bit before I started sealing this leading edge up, sheeting. I think that's about where we were at. So I did get the slots cut for the landing gear wires there. All I did before like I said, before I sealed it up, I went in here and you can see where the notch is at, and I stuck a T-pin there. And I stuck a T-pin through this and kind of centering them up, drew a line in between, brought this one in about 1/4 of an inch and cut the slot out. So that way I have access to it and I don't lose wherever it was going to be at when you seal this up. Remember, think a few steps ahead. And then I went ahead and also added this brace here. This is 1/4 inch ply. I just got it tri-stock. The reason for this is it not more for strength in the front end because this wing's going to be plenty strong enough. It's when I drill the holes for the dowel rods, I'll drill through here too. I'll drill through this 1/8 inch here, but then I'm going to go back here, and that'll just give me all sorts of strength for the rod, for the wing hold down dowel rods when I get there. So I try to stock that. This is probably a little overkill, but it's what I had laying around. So the next step here is I got some sheeting lined up here, and I'm going to get started sheeting the center. Now the other thing I did here is I added a piece of tri-stock here just to give me a little bit of lip because I don't have anything back here to kind of hold this up. So I put a little piece of tri-stock in there just for some reinforcement. And then I got to decide if I'm going to leave the center of this open for the servos, or if I'm going to go around it and sheet the rest of it. I might end up putting a piece here and a piece here because the fuselage actually sits in here, just for the fuselage to sit on something. So that way it's not all open. But yeah, so at least I think that's where it sits. Yeah, it might be out here. I'll figure that out when I get to the point of setting this wing on the fuselage, which probably won't be too awfully long. So I'm going to sheet the leading edge, and then I'm going to get on putting the rest of the leading edge on, and then I can start sanding this down. 1/8 inch ball sweat. I'm not going to be scared to really go after this thing and smooth it out. So, if we end up with 3/32 or something like that, it'd be fine. We're going to fiberglass this too. So, yeah, it'll be plenty strong. So, anyways, I just thought I'd give you a quick update on where I'm at on this thing, and I'll bring it back when I get a lot of that done. All right, look at that. So I went ahead and glued the leading edge on last night, and as you can tell, I got all the sheeting done. I still got a lot of sanding to do, and so that come out pretty nice. Nice and straight, like I said it would. It's supposed to, I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, you probably can. So I do have some gaps, like to be expected, but I can always go in there with some balsa dust and thin CA and fill those gaps in, and that's structural also. So, but as of right now, I get to get one-on-one with my planer and plane this leading edge down. So what I'm going to do is I got the fuselage over here, and once I get it kind of, I'm just going to taper the top here and the bottom to match the profile, kind of rough it in and whatnot. And I did go with a little thicker so I would have extra meat up here if I needed it. And then I'll line it up with the fuse, and go from there with how much I take off of the front of it off. And then if it ends up being quite a bit difference between here and here, I might cut this center piece here back out and put another piece in there. I got plenty of this stuff left over, so yeah, I'll probably, see, I can make another one too. But I took the leading edge, like I said, it's like 3/4 of an inch tall. So I set my plane up on my, if you haven't caught that video yet of that table, you should go back and watch it. It's not super exciting, but it's definitely been helpful. And the one thing that I didn't catch on it was the fact that I wouldn't be able to put my clamp on the other side. So now I got a screw in there, and I'll keep that one by one there as a permanent fixture for the bandsaw for a fence when I'm slicing off bulk wood like that. And I'm probably going to mark on the holes in the drill in the bench top which ones were for what, because I got 1 inch and 2 inch in there right now. So yeah, make it a little faster setting it up anyway. So that's working out pretty good. So anyways, I'm gonna get the plane in. That's pretty boring, and then I think probably by the end of the day we might have this thing sanded, and I'm not gonna go too crazy on it just yet, but yeah, so we'll figure out what we're gonna do next. So anyways, I'll bring it back when I get this all done. All right, let's wrap this video up. I did get the leading edge kind of planed down. I as you can tell, went after the planer there, and I didn't do nothing with the bottom, but I did do the top. I think it looks pretty good. We still got to build wingtips and stuff like that, but I'm gonna call the wing pretty much done. I'm not too happy with the fitment up here on the wing to the fuse. But I also was looking at some pictures of the replica one, and it does have a small fairing in here. So I'm going to go ahead and build a fairing in there. So that way I get the support out here where I need it. So I'll probably do like, plywood, and then we'll figure it out. I don't know what the best way is to do fairings on the fuselage there, but we'll figure it out. So anyways, it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Kind of in the bones picture. One thing that I do want to do next though is get on this fuselage, and I need to get rigidity put up in this top. Now the whole top section does get sheeted, but supposedly on the plans, these longerons here, these three here, 1, 2, and 3, they go front to back. And that's why I had to stop on the fuselage, was because I didn't know what I was going to be doing with the cockpit yet. And after looking at some pictures, there is no stringers running through the fuselage in the cockpit, but the thickness of the side panels is pretty thick. So in the top part up here is smooth on the inside, not only on the outside. So I may, down this side, put all the stringers front to back, and then get in there and put and sheet the inside. Wouldn't be structure, it would just be for look. So we could use like 1/32 for that to keep the weight down. But I did notice that on the old pictures of the 450 and the replica of the 460, that actually there's a drop down in the cockpit. It folds down so the pilot can get in. So the canopy comes forward, and then this, I don't know if I got and then this part here opens up. The problem I have there is I don't want to mess with any structure of the airplane that we're building, and if I can get around here, there's a doubler in there, and it goes all the way back, and I would assume that it's gonna get into our doubler, because our doubler is about right here. So if I did make it, it'd be really small, and probably not. And of course, I don't have dimensions of that either. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do there. I mean, one thing I know we could do is when we're doing the finishing, we could put a tape line, black line across there, do our rivets on both sides to emulate a door there that doesn't actually open. It would be cool if it opened, but I don't know if I'm doing a full cockpit either. I could, but it's gonna And then, but I would start running in the room with my cables. Now, in the original one, it looked like there was a couple cables that ran across the floor. So if I did it right and I set it low enough, I could have the elevator and rudder push rods go above the floor, making them exposed and part of the cockpit. There's a lot of thought that I got to put into this thing, so I might play around with it a little bit and build a box to go down in there to make kind of the real deal. And then you know, yeah, because I got all the pictures. And then what I could do inside here is run some stringers down. Again, they wouldn't be structured, they'd just be for looks. Do that on the inside, because below here it's all exposed. Down here it's all exposed, and it's got stringers running down this way that it's all painted white. So I could put a floor in it. I'm thinking out loud, I could put a floor in it, go around the former, put a seat in it, and then run sticks up and down through there, paint the whole inside white, put a black headrest back here, make this open, run my stringers on my right side all the way through, but not on my left side. And then I'd have to probably double this panel up. Yeah, I'll get back with you unless you guys have any ideas. I do appreciate the guys that are following along with this build. Not that it's super popular, but we're just going to keep pushing forward and get this plane like I said in the beginning, as close to done as we can. So the other thing is I need to do a lot of sheeting, because all this gets sheeted. That's going to be a pain. So anyways, we'll let you go on this one, and I'll get this one edited up, and we'll get back on her. What's today? Is today Friday or Saturday? Today is Saturday, so I am out of town tomorrow, and so I ain't gonna get much work done on this. So anyways, like I said, if you guys have any suggestions on what I should do in that cockpit area before I totally enclose it, I'm all ears. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.